luck if you've ever been a lady to begin with. Luck if you've never been a lady. I think he says luck if you've never been a lady. See, my thing is that you can quote lyrics of songs all night long.
Sure.
Without having to pay ASCAP.
If you never get any of them right, yes, that's true.
Are you ASCAP or are you BMI right, ladies?
I was going to feed that one to you, actually.
You were?
After I did, but I gave you the other BMI joke.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've been in the gym, man. I mean, I just wonder what my, what is it? BPI?
My BMI.
I just wonder what my BMI, right, ladies, is right now.
Right.
I mean,
I've been losing weight, and gaining muscle mass. BMI, right, ladies?
That's it. That's all I need. I've been losing weight. Let me try it. How you doing? How's everybody doing? How many people here have heard of this thing? Hey, I eat a bowl of jellyfish every morning. I don't know if I told you this, because and jellyfish is an ingredient originally found in jellyfish.
Wow, that's fantastic.
I eat jellyfish, an ingredient originally found in jellyfish.
Conversely,
every morning.
Jellyfish eat human brains because of the ingredients found in human brains.
Are you going to make some kind of science fiction argument about jellyfish? Is that what you're going to turn this? I think this would be great.
You'd like to happen?
Well, something that would get us over the hump.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There's no
right
hump.
now.
There's no hump. We haven't even started, really.
Well, no, yeah. You see, I can't motivate myself negatively anyway, so what's the point? We really got to come up with, or make the show better by trying something.
Nah.
What would you do? You would dress up or something?
That would be, yeah. I think that's where we start. Fake it till you make it.
So we make it like how about we make it like it's a late night thing and it's
You're wearing a Late Show t-shirt.
See, that's not nice of you to say that, because Susan is always like, hello, what are you, an advertising booth? What are you, a sandwich board? And so I expect to be able to come over here and have a little privacy.
Yeah. With
the Late Show, and you have to point it out. And it's not. What is it? It's not classy, right?
I don't think it's unclassy.
But you don't think it's
Susan
classy.
and I differ on this point. I think there's plenty of people. If it's a good shirt, you wear it. It's a good shirt.
She doesn't want. Okay, I'll tell you what she doesn't want. If I wear a Bob's Burger shirt, which I do sometimes,
right?
I will get that person. People will ask me they will say, I like your shirt. And I will say, I'm on the show. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's what she's afraid of.
Sure. And she's not wrong.
She's not wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like Rex Tillerson has a white hair in his nose and it's not going away. And it's someone, his wife should tell him or something.
They haven't appointed that person at the State Department yet. That slot is not filled yet at the State Department.
I mean,
so the hair
the
goes
thing
on.
about Rex Tillerson that I'm so disappointed is I expected so much from him because of all the wonderful things I remember him doing at ExxonMobil. What did I do wrong now?
You didn't do anything wrong. You're
well, I mean,
going side to side.
Did you get a deal on...
Oh, enough.
Did you get a deal on...
Calm down.
Let me ask you a question. I'm not going to talk about the mics. Did you get some deal on close proximity mics? Do you like short mics, but you can't afford the really good ones? Well, how about the ones that you have to
These are fine.
swallow?
They're fine microphones.
They're fine.
They are.
I move my neck 1 inch.
Your range within the range of a show is wide.
Why shouldn't I have a Madonna type?
This is sort of splitting the difference.
Why shouldn't I have a lavalier Madonna type mic? I go out into the audience.
You can't do that. You try to lean into it and you'll break your neck.
I was the one who argued for having more than one mic. I was the one arguing.
I still like huddling shoulder to shoulder, cupping our ears, but whatever.
Yeah, I love that. I love that we do it like we're the Beatles singing harmonies. Yeah. We're not singing. I told you a long time ago, we're not singing harmonies. You don't have to be on my lap. And I said that's not my knee, and you said that's not my popcorn, wow. Which is still one of the greatest jokes. I saw a show on
like
CBS.
4 of them, wasn't it?
Yeah, you can see the show on CBS now. They have a show where the meddlesome parents live with the single guy.
Wow, that's breakthrough television.
And Elliot Gould, when did he go from being nothing to everything again?
Everything turn, my friend.
I'm not making fun of Elliot Gould.
It's the show business. You've had opportunities come and go.
I've had opportunities go.
Right.
But I don't know the coming part.
They circle back around.
Let me tell you something, Mr. Josh Weinstein. I still checks for Everybody Loves Raymond. I only bring it up so that everybody out there can eat my heart out. You know, all you people complaining about what level of a celebrity I am, how would you like me to send you my yearly tax forms?
Your YTD.
Look, I don't want to brag, but I'm scraping by. Now, just if you're listening to this podcast, that's a dog that is scratching.
They're not hearing it.
You lie that the dogs aren't here?
Yeah, but whatever you're hearing, Andy, I don't know, but you can imagine all you want.
Lucky is a lady. Are you not supposed to say the names here because you don't want presents?
Yeah, please don't send presents.
Please,
to my
no
dogs.
more Clyde clothing.
Right.
For Josh's dog.
We do have a very strict non-dog clothing rule.
Now, is this one of those is this like, who's the guy who I don't read many of the things I claim to know about, but his name, he was addicted to heroin, and he wrote while he was on heroin.
Burroughs?
Yes, William Edgar Burroughs. That's not right.
No,
William Rice Burroughs.
No.
Edgar Rice Burroughs.
Yes.
William Burroughs.
Yes.
William, I shot my wife. He killed his wife, and here was his excuse. You know what his excuse was, Josh?
I do, yeah.
Well, you tell the people.
Well,
okay.
You know, you read William Tell, and you go,
Right.
That ain't a bad idea if you're on heroin in Mexico.
Now, is this a thing that they had done in the clubs together?
I think they used to do the spinning board with the knife throwing, and then, you know.
Oh, no, wait a second. Was this where does William Tell shoot an apple off of his friend's face? Who is William Tell?
William Tell, he shot an apple off someone's head with a bow and arrow.
Is that covered in the Squeeze song? And I feel like William Tell made Marion.
Right, which was a big mistake that they later admitted.
Oh, they just did a Dylan with it. They just started pulling things
Well,
from
William
history.
Tell, and then made Marion. Made Marion is from Robin Hood, not William Tell.
I totally thought that William Tell must be part of the Robin Hood thing.
No, same era, evokes the same image basically, but
Yeah, but why can't they use the excuse we're just conjuring up images? Paul Simon used "Where Have You Gone, Joe DiMaggio" because it fit, not because it means anything. Where have you gone?
Do you know why?
He didn't say Mickey Mantle.
do you know how that song came about?
Let me just say this. I would claim to be an expert about everything. I would probably have claimed at one time nobody knows more about Simon and Garfunkel than I do.
Okay.
And I don't know much about anything.
This was a Mike Nichols story. This is The Graduate, which they had done the music for.
Right.
And he goes into the studio with them to record the song Mrs. Robinson that they were supposed to write. And it was terrible, he said. He said it was absolutely not what he wanted.
Oh.
And so they go over to the corner and start talking and come back, minutes later with Mrs. Robinson as we know it. And he was like, what the hell kind of wizard is this guy? And it turns out he had been writing this song called Mrs. Roosevelt.
Oh, no, wait, who had been writing
Paul
it?
Simon.
Oh, he had been. No, he
And
went
so
over
he
into
just
the
he
corner.
went over in corner, talked with Artie,
Art?
and went with Artie and
So
went,
this is
hey,
going to be one of those things that Art's later going to say.
We could make this Mrs. Robinson,
Oh.
and forget Mrs. Roosevelt. And
Right.
they came back with the same song and just changed Roosevelt to Robinson.
Okay, so what was the first song that he hated? We don't know.
Don't know.
It was like, oh, Mrs. Robinson,
Are you trying to seduce me?
You're an older lady. Don't you
I'm
face
a younger
it?
man.
No, Mrs. Robinson, stay away from me. Look, that may have not been the exact song.
No. But
So in other words,
it
Mike
had the
Nichols
same
said-
value to Mike Nichols apparently.
Mike Nichols thought they were wizards.
Well,
right?
until he found out that they had just
And who would even guess?
cannibalized their own song.
Who hadn't written a song about Eleanor Roosevelt then?
Exactly.
And here's to you, Eleanor Roosevelt.
I don't think they did Eleanor. I think it was Mrs. still, but nonetheless.
And here's to you, Mrs. Now, Michael Penn, who I love, and I know you love Michael Penn too.
I do.
He has a song on his Mr. Hollywood Jr. 1946 album where he says, at the Roosevelt Hotel. I always thought I didn't know it was pronounced the Roosevelt Hotel. And when he says it, I can't get it out of my mind.
Yeah.
It just it changes the whole image of it for me. It makes it its own thing. Now, here's my question. Is it the Roosevelt Hotel?
It's the Roosevelt Hotel. I mean, it's the
really?
the standard pronunciation, although some people say Roosevelt. Just like some people say Weinstein.
But he goes but you see, it's written from the point of view.
Right.
He's doing a little Randy Newman thing there.
Uh-huh.
And Mr. Hollywood Jr. is a photo he found. He doesn't even know what all I'm saying, Josh, the main thing about the story
is Michael Penn.
Name dropping.
Right.
I know Michael Penn.
Right.
A lot of people would say, look.
And you have OCD. Those are the two main points.
No, but I haven't gotten into the stuff that's going to help me career-wise yet.
Okay.
OCD is not. I checked. No one's buying it.
Right.
But knowing stars like Michael Penn stars.
Right.
And making it, see, if I mention his music, somehow I'm on his level. Here's my new thing. My therapist says she likes the podcast, but if there's a way that I can make it even more difficult for Josh to navigate, please try doing it that way.
Right. And how does that make you feel?
Well, she said she told me, I don't know if you agree with this. She says, I'm not passive aggressive enough.
Right.
Right? So she says, like, if you, like that comment you had about the microphone.
Which one?
Oh, stay near it.
Yeah.
Right? Stay near it. So, don't go over here.
Uh-huh.
Stay near it.
Uh-huh.
She's been telling me, no, you have to put it back and you have to go get up in his grill and make him feel less than.
Right.
For not having a better mic. But you do have a better mic.
It's going to take a whole lot of grill climbing for you to make me feel bad about the mic.
It's going to take a whole lot of grill climbing just to get up that hill. That's not what you were doing?
No.
You weren't moving up to the east side?
I wasn't.
To the Roosevelt Hotel in the sky?
No. With a good mic, sir.
Hee-haw.
Hee-haw. Don't be discouraged. The man, he ain't so hard to understand.
Hee-haw.
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 If you try now, I know that you can lend a helping hand. You know there's good in everyone, and a new day has begun. You can see the morning sun shining
What
through.
part of the song is this? Did you hear that on the TV?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if the bridge made it to the actual opening song, but I have the single.
But now at the end they go, oh
yes, they will for Hijo and the man. Yes, they will for Chico and the man.
Have you ever observed if the baby enjoys that song? Or is it the baby? You know what I'm saying? Why can't that be our version of Marcel the Shell?
I don't know what that is.
That's Jenny Slate has a very cute thing. Marcel, like it's a moving muscle.
Yeah,
it's very cute.
Oh, okay.
So now that's what we need. We need a character like that.
We need a baby doll.
Well, I think the baby version people have done.
Right.
Jose Feliciano, not as good as you.
No, it's not the best. It's not the best baby Jose Feliciano impression. I know. It's one of many.
It's not a baby Jose Feliciano.
Yes, it was.
Oh, I guess it was. Well, then that really pushes. And by the way, the reason why we're talking this way is that Josh and I are on the cusp of signing a couple of big deals.
Big deals.
With what's the name of the character? Baby Man?
Baby Hijo.
And I don't want to push it too much into a Chipmunks thing.
Yeah, it's close.
I mean,
anytime you sing in that voice, you're dangerously on the edge of chipmunk territory.
Well,
before you came, I just watched.
Before I came, literally.
Why would you?
Would you do that?
Something so
oh, I can't have
like
a penis
that?
now.
You can, but
here's the
you
blue
can't
guy.
use it
Who's
in
the blue
front
guy
of me
who
like
doesn't
that.
understand why he's being told? Oh, because I insult your sensibilities.
Hey,
no,
Andy,
it's not funny.
Andy, I know what you're trying to do there, and no.
Hey, any other people have penises? I don't even understand how you get into that kind of material.
BMI right, ladies? I just watched the Twins lose to the Yankees in the wild card game before you showed up.
This is so depressing to me.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it. You just wanted the Yankees to lose because you hate them.
I wanted the Yankees to lose, and I was also excited about the Twins.
Yeah.
But like everything else, I must not have a newspaper anymore.
The Twins at Yankee Stadium is kind of like...
That must have been depressing.
It's like you at the Apollo. It does not work out.
How did Kirby Puckett do?
Kirby Puckett, still dead.
All right. So now, what was the score?
I think 8-4.
Oh, I hate the Yankees. Oh, disgusting.
But the Twins, three runs first inning.
Oh, and you're already... Do you relax?
Yankees, 3 runs bottom of the first inning. So,
do you think the Twins could have gone further?
No, they lost 100 games last year.
Right, but how many did they win this year?
80.
Focus
something.
on that.
They crept,
So who's in the American League that's going to?
But I'll tell you because I got to hear the best thing about watching the game was hearing the phrase, "The loser goes home, the winner goes to Cleveland."
Oh. Now, how is the Twins your team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the American League, I guess.
And the National League is what?
Dodgers.
Oh, yeah. I can't argue. I'm not going to argue against what you're saying.
I have a love for the Cubs because I used to watch them as a kid on WGN.
I have a love for the Cubs even though I rooted for the Mets against them.
Yeah.
And also, this last week was in Toronto. Thanks for, why don't you ever ask me, where were you? Oh, how was your weekend? I have to be the one to do all the heavy lifting. Who does it's 7 minutes to the hour. It's 9 minutes after the hour. Who does the local reads? I have to do them. Josh, I have to do the local read.
Yeah, do a local read.
Hi. Thought Spiral is brought to you by, AB Booby BB Hardware.
Nice.
And at AB Booby Hardware, we do impressions of black people from the 60s. I don't know what we're doing.
I don't know.
So, hi. Oh, did I tell you what I did really line up today?
What?
Get ready. You ready? I'm gonna. Hi, I'm Andy Kindler. Are you tired of squares? Is most of your when you see your friends, are they square?
Oh, I hate you.
Please come over to Rhombus Space.
I hate you.
At Rhombus Space.
Much.
We look at the regular square and we just twist it into a rhombus. It's going to be a rhombus of fun. Start the rompus. So you want to go Patreon? Is that what you're telling me?
I just want to let my hate bubble go back down.
Why can't we just make money with people sending us money? Like, why can't I say, hi, everybody, if you like what you're listening to, find out Josh's P.O. Box and send him money. Sure, that got Soupy Sales in trouble.
Sure, yeah.
But no one knows who we are.
These are consenting adults listening to our
We're
program.
doing a podcast. Now we can't get in trouble.
Exactly. No, like Patreon, it's a nice thing, except you have to do other stuff.
What do you have to do?
You have to provide special stuff for the people on Patreon.
Well, I thought you pitched yourself as co-host and you love crafts.
Yeah, sure.
You love to make collectibles.
More than anything.
And, well, you know what we need to do then? Okay, what I say is let's get some Thought Spiral products. First of all, why can't we get into the light bulb business?
It's wide open.
I actually think it is wide open, but I think us getting into it now would be crushed.
Yeah, it's like getting into podcasting now.
I think if you and I went as 1/12 of a restaurant, we would take a bath. But you, according to your wife has told me.
Yeah.
I'm just making it up though, but she did tell me very good. She kind of did present you as a wizard of money, that you know what's going on.
It's really not true.
Well, because I noticed you watch Jim Cramer a lot.
She is so oblivious, I guess.
Right, I guess. Yeah.
She is so rejecting of any sort of money management skills. And luckily, she's not a big spender. It's not like she's like, she spends crazy because she doesn't understand.
But she doesn't, yeah. But the thing is, and she also trusts you. So
yeah,
you could do a thing where you like, where you just have her sign, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She signs the money over to her. All her money that's going in to her regular account.
Yeah.
I'm only kidding. I'm not saying. I can't imagine you doing. I can't imagine you being like. Was it Billy Joel's cousin?
What do you mean?
Is it Billy Joel's cousin or was it Dane Cook's cousin?
Dane Cook's cousin was the major embezzler, I think.
Right, and that is the worst when it is. And I don't even like Dane Cook, but I don't want this ripping off thing.
Right.
It's just crazy.
And what's weird is then Carlos Mencia's cousin ripped him off.
Oh.
It was so weird.
Where do you stand on that? Now, look, everybody. I'm not going to make fun of Carlos Mencia. I'm not, I'm changing my ways. I used to be the comic who makes fun of other comics. Now I'm the comic who's going to celebrate other comics.
Oh, good. I think that'll be a good state of the industry.
Oh, God, I just made myself sick thinking. I can't do it, Josh. I have to have my edge.
Back to one.
Now, yesterday, I didn't want, I was in Toronto all last week, and I got to go, I didn't complete the story nor start it. I got to go on the Toronto Blue Jays. Mike Wilner is the radio voice for the Toronto Blue Jays, and I started kibitzing with him. Guess where I started kibitzing with him on?
Where?
What social network?
I'm going to go Twitter.
Yes. We became Twitter friends. He's very funny on Twitter. And I realized.
And you blocked him, didn't you?
What's that?
He's blocked now, isn't he?
No, I love him.
Okay.
So we started bantering back and forth. I went to Toronto this last week, went into the booth and did the after game show with him.
That's
People
very
calling
cool.
up.
In Skydome?
True. No, because he was, it's a long story, but he was observing Yom Kippur.
Okay.
So he was actually, he does the 5th and 6th. I don't understand how they do this. He does the 5th and 6th inning. The other guy does just the Farmer's John commercial.
The beefy, rich taste of Farmer John.
So he wasn't going, so I knew I wasn't going to be I knew I wasn't going to be on the road.
Apparently, Andy thought he was going to Skydome. Anything but.
Who's that like that? You really are a jack of all trades.
Yes,
in a way.
Absolutely. That was Vince Scully, which I did in the last show, because every show is like fucking Memento to you.
Do you, why aren't we sponsored by Mentos? Mementos.
Right. The fresh maker.
Mementos. Right?
Right. You just said that yesterday.
I know, but I'm just saying, if people would pick up the ball and complete these hilarious ideas I come up with on the show.
Yeah, you do that Memento joke every day for some reason.
Well, if Casanova Frankenstein...
Will you get it, for God's sake?
What's that?
The joke? You do that Memento joke every day?
Oh, because isn't that the movie where is that like Groundhog Day?
Jesus, what's the opposite of a comedy team?
I could be very mean right now and say people that I don't like, but who do I know? The Ritz Brothers.
Oh, okay.
I can't make fun of someone.
That was safe.
Mac and Jamie. I can't make fun of a current duo. Right. You see how you set us up for a great joke like that? We're doing the opposite of a comedy duo. Oh, you mean like Shields and Yarnell? But that's not the right example.
No.
I think at some point it was fun to make fun of, and maybe even a little bit edgy, to make fun of Steve Lawrence and Edie Gourmet. I hear planes going off. I hear a broom going. Yeah. I hear a dog barking.
Yeah.
And I hear something else. I hear my career just fading from me in the distance.
Yeah.
Too angry. Why? Is that what happens when things don't go well? I'll growl at you again, Josh.
Lucky, come on. No one needs
I don't see anything about you as a dog owner that's impressive.
Really?
Lucky, come on. Lucky, come on. Any kind of fool could see. I'm not high at all. This will be the show. Hey, why is this show ruined? He was high. I wish I could say that.
Yeah. So how was Toronto?
Well, Toronto was unbelievable. First of all, you do feel like you're defecting.
Yeah.
They're better people, Canadians.
Right.
Their government is better. And sometimes in this country, I think there's I thought nobody who could ever claim to be intelligent on any level could make an argument about Trump, defending Trump, that's like the dividing line.
Right.
And then these people are I'm not saying they're my best friends, but you do see some people that are I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying really. There are people who are, or maybe they're born under a bad sign. But to me, the people who get upset that you call on CNN that they're still trying to pretend he's not a racist, I find that so offensive that they talk about him sometimes like he's just a regular guy. Or do you feel much like Jeff? What's his name? Jeff. Who's the CNN guy? Zucker.
Yeah.
Give the people what they want. Give the people the right wing.
Well, CNN is certainly not been pro-Trump in their presentation.
No, but they have this thing that they haven't, except before the election they were.
Yeah, or at least way too indulging of
solicitous.
Trump. Yeah.
But they have this thing where they all seem to look very sweaty, and they all seem to be on a wavelength of trying to explain how something he's currently doing could make sense.
Right.
And that's when I start to go, this is a sham, gentlemen. It's a sham.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it ends up, yeah, because there's no way you don't have a liar as a guest in that case.
Right.
You know, and I understand what you're saying in that regard.
Yeah.
You know, but how do you know? The only sane thing to do is just bash the guy. You know,
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's not news either.
That's not news either, but
you know?
I like when people like, is it LeBron James maybe, or whoever, yeah, LeBron James would say, I don't care what he, you know, like they say, now what if Trump, because I don't care what he says.
Right.
I mean, that people have just written him off because of his behavior is very good. It's very good.
Yeah.
We can't go on forever. But anyway, yesterday was such a weird day because I got back from Toronto. Tom Petty passed away. Then he did not pass away.
Right.
And then I actually tweeted, and I think we could probably say this, that he wasn't getting this energy of me tweeting, pull through, Tom. Pull through, Tom. We love you. But it made me feel good.
Right.
I have no problem with thoughts and prayers unless it's Republicans saying it instead of gun control.
Yeah, it's a weird balance though, because I actually just withdrew from Twitter yesterday pretty much.
You did?
Hold on.
Oh my God! You know what that is? Those are the Hollywood police coming, folks. Take this opportunity to hug your kids. So, okay, are we back on?
Yeah.
So now, yeah.
So I tuned out of Twitter pretty much yesterday because I don't want to fucking hear everybody's hot take on a mass murder.
No, but I don't. But this whole thing where the GOP got the instructions that it's okay for them to say, "Oh, it's not appropriate right now."
No, I know it's total bullshit. And,
I mean, that to me, it's like it is not appropriate right now. What's not inappropriate? To me, there's nothing. There really is nothing political about reasonable gun legislation.
Right.
If it wasn't attached to people being afraid that people are going to steal their guns.
The problem, I mean, it's just for me. There's like no fucking lag time anymore. There's just no time to let this massive event.
I'll tell you why, though. I'll tell you why in this
soak in.
case. Because in this case, every person like me, I had never seen this scenario take place where they're shooting fish in a barrel, the guy's shooting fish in a barrel, and the fact that he can just keep squeezing the trigger.
No, and there's
To me, it's like I always get mad immediately after because I know that they could at least try to limit these magazines. They could try. I mean, there's no downside to trying to keep it out of the hands of bad people. I don't buy that. Oh, then only the bad people.
No, and it's not. I just don't want to hear everyone's take. I'm not.
I get that.
It's like obviously there's plenty to be rageful about this situation when it comes to gun control. But
right.
But there's also like, it's just like the human response has been taken out of the equation. The brief pause for a moment of humanity. And I'm not talking about it's inappropriate to politicize. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're saying
I'm just saying no one just goes,
wow.
Just take a fucking moment before it's so fucking important for your take on this.
I agree with that.
To be broadcast to the world.
That's my take. Yeah.
And so I happened to be working. I had to go do an edit thing yesterday. So it was easy for me to check out from a lot of it.
Oh.
And I got a call in the edit room from Allison in tears, like sobbing. I'm like, what happened?
Oh, by Tom Petty. Yeah, right.
And the guy I was with, he was like, oh my God, what happened?
Yeah.
He thought for sure at least at minimum a pet had died from her just hearing the sobbing.
Yeah. And that was it is weird though. I mean, I think they always say like these things have happened before. It's always been we think that we're accelerating so fast into the future, but maybe it's always been this way. But on the other hand of it is, the other side of it is that we really are accelerating fast because or maybe it's just aging or whatever.
Right.
But it does seem to be like, I can't get used to who's dying because so many people are dying.
No, but
it's probably always been that way.
But I don't think it has, though.
No, I mean the exposure to it, maybe.
Yeah, well, but the numbing factor, which I was talking about, is because nobody actually takes that actual moment to be a human being when these things happen.
Yeah,
and go straight to being an anger machine or a political animal, and it's like it makes it takes the momentousness away from the event.
Right.
Now it's just an argument,
Yeah.
And that, and the lag time between event and argument is like nothing now. There's no lag time.
Well,
and I think the first person who says this is no time to talk about gun control, needs to be disputed on that too,
Right.
But why doesn't, let everyone wait a little bit, And no one's going to. I'm not saying that I'm in the vast minority here, but everyone is so fucking pissed off all the time now and so fucking stressed out all the time now because everyone is looking for a fight, and no one is embracing humanity in any fucking way anymore because everyone's too stressed out.
I guess I'm still so angry about the fact that in my lifetime, there has not been two legitimate political parties in this country. I feel like the Republicans have been not just a bad party, been a pretty evil intentioned party. And so when you take an issue like this, where if their cooler heads could prevail, there would be two sides to it.
Right.
But the two sides wouldn't be, the first side is, if you want to walk around with a hydrogen bomb, you're not taking my hydrogen bombs away from me.
Right.
The idea that you could have no regulation on weapons is just crazy.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's like, I feel like we've gone so far on the issues. I worry that people are so, mixed up by how we got here that they'll never really be able to focus the anger where it should be focused on. Which is, to me, the Republican Party needs to go away.
Yeah, well, it should be. And Thomas Friedman wrote a thing today that was, the basic point of it is that the only thing to do right now is take back power.
Right.
The only thing that
there's nothing else to do.
To fight against this Trumpism.
Right.
Is to take back power.
Right.
Everyone has to fucking vote.
Because what he's doing is, it's too much stuff going on to keep up with that. He got rid of the kids chip program or something.
Right. Well, Congress did that.
Yeah. Right? Well, were they able to do that?
Because it expired and they didn't vote on it to extend it.
Yeah. I knew that.
So, but neither, they just neither scheduled a vote, neither the House nor the Senate scheduled a vote on it.
Well, I'll tell you, I both agree with you and also I agree with you
I don't even fully agree with
No,
me,
I
honestly,
agree with you completely about how there does seem to be, no matter what you're thinking, humanity gets lost on all sides.
Right.
I know when I'm obsessed with Twitter, and I'm having trouble with it, because it's still the main thing I have trouble with, I'm not really feeling sadness for people who are victims. I'm channeling my energy into getting angry or petty or whatever the thing is.
Right, it's people scoring off each other.
Yeah, so that part I think is something that we all have to pay attention to all the time, because it isn't a substitute for real things sometimes. You have to do something real. Like you have to go down to the comic book store. For me, I have to go back down to the comic book store and look around. I can't spend the rest of my life ordering on Amazon.
Right.
I don't know why I went to that point with it. Do you think I took one of the? We're on the edge of nuclear annihilation, and I said we need to spend more time in a comic book store.
That's your version of humanity.
I'm opening up a chain of. What's that?
That's your version of humanity. Just actually going to the comic book store and helping a small business owner.
That's why I don't do I do my postage the old-fashioned, slow and inexorable.
Right. Which is why stamps.com won't call us.
Where I feel like if it was just up to me, we could get backers, because I'm so enthusiastic about products and you have a certain cynicism about life.
I do.
And I just as like, for example, give me a product that not something like napalm, but something like the name that I don't know, and I'll sell it for you. Maybe I shouldn't even sell it.
Remington microscreen shaver.
The Remington microscreen. Thought Spiral is happy to add a new sponsor to the show. The Remington what is it?
See, you're terrible at this.
The Remington is that like an electric razor?
Yeah, I don't even know if it's a real one.
Yeah. Electric razors, forget about what you've heard, like they're not that great, and they irritate your skin. It's all happen with the Remington micro grooves. They're so small. I don't like this product.
No. See?
But you know, because I started to think about the big mistake that I made. I don't know if I told you I made this mistake. I was at Bed Bath & Beyond about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And this guy, and please, if I brought it up on another podcast, just kill me. The guy said to me, he was checking out, and I heard him ask for this razor, like an old-fashioned razor. He goes,
Yeah.
I said, what's that? He goes, oh, you don't watch Pawn Stars or whatever? Whatever. So the guy from Pawn Stars sells this razor, and it's they used to call them safety razors, I guess.
All right.
They're one blade that you put inside the thing, and you.
Sure.
Have I told the story?
No.
Okay. They are the worst razors. I convinced myself from one old man who was excited at Bed Bath & Beyond.
Right.
I convinced myself that this was a superior razor.
Right.
And I was being taken to the cleaner with all these triple blades and stuff.
Right.
Every single time I shaved for 7 months, I cut my face.
It's like playing Operation. It takes a very steady. I'll be right there. It says.
But you know what they
Let me
told you
just
to
get
do?
that thing under my nose with the.
Because you had to actually lather up your face.
Sure, with a brush.
Soap.
With a brush.
No, I shouldn't have a
you
brush.
should have done the brush.
They suck. They suck, those razors.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to do one of those, ask myself the questions. Do I think that the Mach 3 is oversold? Yes, I don't like the Mach 3. Because I don't like
the Mach 3.
But the Sensor XL is a double-bladed thing, and you can't get better than that. But don't buy a razor based on a guy. Why would I think that guy knew anything? He was an old man. He was probably older than me.
The old man thing.
Yeah.
Faux wisdom.
But yeah, I bought into that whole, this guy has been shaving since the old days.
I practice on a balloon.
But why can't they make an old style razor that works?
They innovated.
Here's the problem.
What's the problem?
Those razor blades are sharper than the double blade Sensor XL. They're sharper.
Yeah.
So I guess they're potentially saying that can be better because it can, if you do it, if you go to a barber shop and that guy's got a strap and he's like, like that.
Right.
But otherwise, you have to be a trained technician to not cut the jugular your vein. Have you used one?
No.
No, because you have a beard.
Yeah.
You gave up years ago.
I gave up a long time ago, yeah.
Don't you feel that you're not trying anymore?
Well,
and don't you
when
feel
you say
like
anymore, when do you
well,
think
I'm not just the beard.
Yeah. No, I avoiding a life of ties and daily shaving was like an actual important thing to me.
Don't you think there's two separate topics? There's one.
No, if you have to wear a tie, then you pretty much have to shave.
You go all the way to I either have to look like Tucker Carlson. Has anyone ever been able to pull off the bow tie look who wasn't a dweeb? Like what's his name?
Or Redenbacher.
Orville Redenbacher has.
Okay.
But I would never say, you know why I love Orville Redenbacher? Because of those cool ties.
Right.
I focus not on the tie.
Right. You're more popcorn centric when it comes to Orville.
I'm beginning to believe that old guy in that commercial is not the same guy even.
Really?
No, well, they used to have an actual Redenbacher, right?
Yeah.
And he would go, I'm Orville Redenbacher. Don't you remember him?
I do.
He looked like the thanks. Who were the thanks for your support people?
Bartles and James?
Yeah. Same kind of shtick.
Sure.
We had classy funny commercials. We'll leave the light on for you. I'm Bartles and he's James. Today, the kids today, all they know is you named your car Brad. You loved your car Brad. And then one day, you did your happy dance. That's insidious, that commercial.
It is.
Do you think that commercial is part of a larger conspiracy?
What am I supposed to do? Make 3/4 of a commercial?
How can you sell a product based on you thought that there was one policy and you didn't have to think about anything at all?
Right.
So, no, I have a 55-year-old car, but I want the same policy that the guy who's got you know what? I'm enraged. I can't even talk about it anymore.
That's okay. I'm thinking of paring down the Andy bitches about TV commercials section of the show anyway.
First of all, you think you hold it over my head that you do the editing. You call me.
No, I wasn't going to. I mean, paring it down just by stopping you, shutting it
Oh,
down.
no. I thought you were doing some after show things.
No.
You can't stop me if I want to go further. What's the deal with the guy? What's the deal with, what is the deal? Okay. Can I complain about one more thing?
Sure.
And then you can take it out.
No, I wouldn't take it out now.
Okay. The idea, how many people have, would you say, savings that have actual money in the bank? No one almost, right?
Sure.
Almost no one we know.
Sure, I'll go along with you on that.
Why are there so many commercials for financial advisors? Isn't that a little sickening?
Because you're only watching the news, Andy.
Oh, I see. Well, no, the news.
The news is financial, it's medicine, and it's catheters.
I am crazy about how they name the new, like Abilify. Remember when the Abilify came?
Yeah.
It was like the ability, what did it say to you? The ability to pacify yourself, right? It's like the ability, you go Abilify. So it makes you think like Dexedrine, uppers.
Right.
But that's not what it does. It makes you feel good. Abilla, I really take it down a notch. But you told me you loved the name Lunesta. You just thought it was great.
I think it
Lunesta's
sounds like
not bad.
sleep, actually.
What's that?
It sounds like sleep.
Yeah, Lunesta is good.
What about Taltz?
Oh, I don't like that name.
That's weird, isn't it? And
Yeah.
the other thing they do in that commercial is don't take Taltz if you're allergic to Taltz.
That's my favorite allergic thing. Yeah. If you're allergic to the thing you're taking,
Right.
You stupid idiot. Hey, I'm having a bad reaction. What are you taking?
Taltz.
Have you ever taken it before?
Yeah,
Yes.
I had a horrible reaction to it.
Yeah. Oh, well, you shouldn't take it then.
Really? I didn't read the thing. I should read the thing.
What are the odds? What are the odds that the thing itself would you be allergic to?
Wow.
You know what? This is all part of our hilarious. This would be a bonus CD if they were Patreons.
Right, exactly. Weekly commercial rundown.
But yesterday, I mean, let me give you a little view into the Andy Kindler, Josh Weinstein business of Thought Spiral.
Sure.
I got off the plane from Toronto yesterday. Sunday. Monday I went to the dentist and the world started to end. I'm getting prepared for a bridge. People say I burned all my bridges. The only place I can install them is in my mouth. In my mouth. Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
People say I burned the bridge.
Yeah.
What about my lower molar?
That's good. I think,
So I go to the dentist yesterday and all of a sudden I come out of there and both teeth that he was working on were live, which for me is a miracle. And it started to ache and I did not want to do the podcast at our normally scheduled time. And because of it sounds selfish, because of all the tragedy that was going on in the world.
Right.
I didn't think it could be funny. But you're saying, what's my excuse when there's no tragedies? But why were you so hot to trot?
Why was I what?
Hot to trot?
In what way?
To do the truth is, I always exaggerate everything you do. You said, I'm fine either way.
Yeah, I think that's what I said. Yeah.
But I'm portraying you as going, I think we should do it. It could be interesting.
Right.
Wasn't there a little bit of that?
No, there was, my rationale for doing it if we did it last night was we'll talk about something real and probably find some jokes anyway.
But I'm glad we didn't because I had I think any normally any of these factors could kill me in a podcast. A searing headache.
All right.
Worried about my dental work.
Right.
And then a tragedy that's unfolding as you're trying to do your funny bit about cauliflower.
Right.
But you're saying we should be real. It should be like, okay, I don't know what you expected last week. Now we're talking about the end of the world. Welcome to Flood Spiral.
I wasn't saying anything. I was saying either could be an option. I think tonight we're doing an in-between version.
Are you saying that, okay, are you happy with the show tonight?
So far, so good.
I am. What do you mean so far? This is what gets me. I don't get to watch how long we've been. Have we been going for at least an hour?
We haven't.
Jesus Christ.
We haven't.
It sounds like all I'm doing is talking.
It does sound like that, but just for less than an hour.
Well, anything new in your here's the way I awkwardly turn things around.
Yeah.
What's exciting and interesting and unique about what you're doing?
I went to the dentist today myself.
I was going to ask you about that yesterday by text. What happened?
It's just a checkup.
Why would you build it up?
It's because you asked what's going on.
It's like telling someone I have the greatest Broadway Danny Rose story ever.
Yeah, I saw Broadway Danny Rose.
All right, now you mean what did they check it? You mean they cleaned it?
Did a cleaning, did the X-rays, did some poking around, found a little cavity in the back of the front tooth.
And then what did he do?
And he made an appointment for me to come back and get it filled.
Oh my God, that's how they get you.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're gonna are you gonna be one of those things where hold the Novocaine?
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes.
I'm so sick and tired of this. You're lying to people like, you know what you're like? You're like that guy who wrote that memoir. He said that he did, you know what I'm talking about? It was on Oprah and he kept saying, it's a memoir. A million different little pieces.
James Fry?
Yes. And Oprah got mad and had to come, Oprah, it's a memoir.
Yeah.
But he made up some of the things, allegedly, and said it was true. And one of the reasons why I was doubting him was he said he did dental work without Novocaine even.
Yeah.
Because he was worried about getting addicted to anything. And I said, I don't believe it.
Yeah.
But now you're one of those guys who...
No, I'll have Novocaine for this. The times I've had it done...
Oh! Your Honor, you know what? I'd like to have some people call in about this, if we had call-in people.
Yeah.
I think you're making the whole thing up, even.
Okay. I don't give a shit, so okay. Yes, I made it all up.
Have you ever thought about this, that maybe you have a higher threshold of pain? Did you ever think of that?
Well, I think this podcast is proof that I do.
Have you ever given birth?
Yes. No, but when my colon ruptured...
Oh!
The doctor did tell Allison that it is pain that's on par or worse than giving birth, which gave Allison permission to feel bad for me.
And did you feel, was it really painful?
Oh God, it hurt like hell. Yeah.
Oh my God. And did you got good drugs then?
Yes.
And they did help?
They did. They shot me full of Dilaudid when I got there.
Oh, and do you have any of the, just for when I write the history of us,
yeah.
Do you have any of that left over?
I did not. It was intravenous.
Intravenous, I had an appendix out.
Yeah.
And then a year later I hadn't put it back in. I don't know what I was thinking.
Why would you?
I don't care. That was a real laugh, made myself laugh.
Yeah.
I definitely kept going past when I felt no pain to keep trying to get as much morphine or whatever.
Oh, yeah, when they give you the button. Oh yeah, yes. Every time the light is green, make it red again, I say.
Or put one in your suitcase and just say you ran out.
Right.
I'm not advocating for that.
No. That's where the P.O. box.
You went to the dentist, but there was nothing. I mean, it was a checkup. That's it?
That was it.
Well, I have
panicked.
A bridge.
When you said what's going on with you, I panicked, and I had to come up with a story.
I have a bridge that's going in there. It's a 4-tooth bridge. I probably shouldn't. You probably say don't talk about this because I'm such a sex symbol.
You said, but when you said they were working on live teeth today?
Yeah.
As opposed to when you say the opposite is dead. Is that like when you get a root canal? Is it dead tooth?
Yeah, my family has had everything wrong with like they are caused by cavities, and then cavities lead to root canals, and then root canals lead to crowns, but then the tooth can die, and I'm in that part of my life, age 30 to 35,
Right.
where those things are, that a tooth, the bridge could have been connected between two teeth that are still there,
Right.
but have been root canaled, Josh.
Okay.
They've been root canaled.
All right.
But in my case, he said, no, these two teeth are still alive, and they're in good shape.
Oh, good.
And
Congratulations.
that makes the prognosis for the bridge that much more positive.
Excellent.
And a lot of people I know have been writing in, is Andy been eating his pretzels? Nope, I haven't been eating my favorite foods, and I look forward to getting that, because I don't want dentures.
Yeah.
Like you have.
Like I have.
So, I'm glad that we pushed it to today. I was glad until about 5 minutes ago, when all the energy went out of the podcast.
Yeah. Just because of my dentist thing? Is that what you're blaming?
No, I think that I feel empty inside.
Yeah.
And somehow I want to blame it on you.
Sure. Everyone wants to blame everything on me.
How did I do in Toronto? I did great.
Yeah.
I played at the historic Second City.
Oh, cool.
And I was hosting the show. And it's not called Andy Kindler's particular show.
This is
It's
the
called
alternative show, right? It's an alternative to the particular show.
Exactly. I think we would draw more if we called it the particular show.
Yeah.
I had the greatest time. I stayed in a very nice place, and I was with my wife, and the only thing I did I did a couple of other shows, but all I really had to do was host a show at midnight every night.
Yeah.
That is an OCD person's dream.
Right.
I still was rushing the last minute to get out.
Right.
I'm literally working for 10 minutes up front and then 2 minutes in between.
Yeah.
And it was just great. I feel lucky. I love Toronto. I could see living there.
Could you? Just because it wasn't America?
No, I think I would. I think I would never want to move out of America, but I
bet it was nice to get away. When I got away like the week after 9/11 to Vancouver shooting that show, it was just like, oh God, I feel like I'm at camp. It's like,
yeah, and I can't make the argument that it wouldn't be a much better life for me in Canada.
Right.
I'm just thinking that the grass is always greener sometimes. I feel American, except for Trump.
Right. But at least you're not alone.
No.
I was watching the Vietnam War last week.
I've been watching some of that too.
Yeah. And it was really good. But interesting in that the comfort of it, of going, okay, like we've been this fucked up before, right. And it simmered down eventually.
Yeah.
But there wasn't Twitter.
No, there wasn't Twitter, and the things today, the kids today with the long hair, but the things that the technology of today is definitely more than double-edged and more than capable of hurting you without you knowing it, because you can't turn it off.
Right.
And so I think we're going to have to turn it off somehow. Or I don't know. I don't know what the solution is.
No.
But the solution is, I feel, is Trump being impeached, but I can't live my life that way. But I feel like our lives are not going to go on until something happens with him.
No, I think that's kind of true, honestly. I mean, I think, the amount of just like every fucking day this guy is on everybody's mind, in a negative way.
And who wants to be comforted by him,
force. Right? Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
How could you be comforted by him?
I'm fantastic and no, I've never felt, I even felt with George W. or Reagan, they said stuff one couple times
right.
that choked me up.
Again, there's that humanity thing again. They both had a shred of it left.
But I don't think Cheney did.
No, I don't think so either.
Cheney Trump's no better than Cheney.
No, Trump is worse than Cheney in a lot of ways, because Cheney.
Trump is no worse than Cheney. Because Cheney, no, he probably is worse.
I think he's worse.
Because if you have no reason, if you have no intelligence at all about what you're making your decisions on,
right.
then you have to even pick Cheney.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Cheney has a gay daughter that he's cool with.
Yeah, okay. If that's why, sure.
No, that's not why, Josh. You can't take one statement I make and then try to hang me on that statement. No. I think of Cheney as a monster, but then every once in a while, when he'll be like, "Oh, he's moderate about gay people,"
Right.
like, "Oh, he's not even as much of a monster." But I would take Cheney over Trump, but I wouldn't be happy about it.
No, it'd still be horrible.
Yeah, and it was horrible.
I thought, the rage that I felt against George W. Bush and his administration, I thought I was maxed out.
I know.
I thought I was totally maxed out with my outrage. I wasn't even at a 6.
Well, I think we've all realized now, and I'm telling you, Josh and I are not planning to talk about this on every podcast. Although, if you contribute to our Patreon account, every 3 weeks we will send you us talking about it in a very mundane way.
Yeah. We'll go. We'll regroup.
We'll cross that.
We'll regroup on this plan.
No, I mean, anyway, every day I wake up. I know I can't watch it all the time, and I have come up. I don't know if I told you this. I didn't tell you this. I have come up with some because people are writing me all the time, and I'm not looking at the emails. But people want to know about OCD, and I've learned a couple of tricks now with the OCD. So here's what I learned. I forced myself to write the tweet down on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
But I refuse to allow myself to go online every time I have a tweet.
Okay, so you save them up?
I just started that yesterday. And I was...
I noticed you're actually tweeting in groups today.
And then... I was going to tell you there was some tweets that... Okay, so can I tell you a tweet that I didn't do... I always think about you because I always think about not arguments, but discussions about and what you say and just the interesting part of, even if you separate from our endless fights,
right. Just
the interesting part of, there's nothing else I've ever done like Twitter where you're in that thing where you could make a big mistake in the moment, you could say something and you could suffer from it because normally when you come up with your ideas, they don't go immediately out to everybody.
Right.
So it really is kind of a dangerous format. But I was going to say something to the effect that I can't believe Trump isn't rounding up, going on the air and saying, I'm going to ban all white people in their 60s from coming into America until we know what's going on.
Right.
Because that's what he did with the Muslims.
Right.
So I did tweet the thing about that the guy who just committed the biggest mass murder was a non-religious white guy in his 60s, just like Bill Maher predicted.
Right.
That was better, I thought. But I would debate about, like, if you start to overload too many horrible things on top of each other,
right?
You then get to it's just hard. It's a hard thing to figure out. Not all the time, but I had written all these things down yesterday. I was going to say I don't remember anything else now, but like I'm going to see if Josh what he would have thought about me tweeting that. But I basically said what I wanted to tweet.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have, honestly, I've never had an issue
I know you
in terms of like being personally offended ever,
No. But my mind was going crazy. My mind was going crazy. I was thinking, is it like if I came up with ones and we talked about whether I should have tweeted it in a tragedy, is that just a cheap way around?
Well, but that's the thing is it's like, we're all conditioned to come up with jokes like right away, biting quality jokes, but instantly. And everyone has to get theirs on quickly, because someone else might fucking post that same biting joke, and it's like, like we've talked before about how I go through the world with a comedy mind and a human mind watching at all times, and I really feel like it is almost two tracks in my head. And my comedy mind is actually generally faster than my human mind, so my first thought is often a joke, and it's often inappropriate, So I do edit myself. And even in my marriage, it's like I find myself sometimes not answering Allison because the first 3 responses that I thought of were inappropriate jokes and I edited them all. And so I defaulted to silence, because human couldn't poke through, and so, but I feel like everyone is kind of getting like that now where they're letting the comic, the sort of ugly, snarky, but funny voice take over as the most important thing,
Yeah, but
it's the most important it's the most attractive quality of all of us is to get the fastest joke out.
Yeah, but now I'll say this though.
And I'm not even saying this in terms of you.
I'm not saying in terms of you because I don't think you do. I think people do this, but I think that the other side of it is that, it's almost like when you go up in a tall building and you could jump off of it. I don't know if you ever had the sense of, what if I do jump off? I don't jump off.
Yeah.
But because I have, it's like an OCD thing to wonder, don't say that. Oh, what if I did say that?
Right.
So it's just one of these things that I think is a thing of, that my mind does and goes to that point.
No, and I think it's great you're writing it down because at least it gives you that instant to inspect, to have that, to consider it.
Right, but I feel like I'm not proud of myself. I think one of the downsides of being a professional comic, but also the upside is like so many things that occur to me are instantly not funny.
Right.
So in other words, like I've heard everyone do some version of after a tragedy, some comment about the celebrity who was there at the tragedy. I already thought that person was a tragedy. You know what I mean? I've heard versions of that all the time, and so those don't even make me laugh.
Right.
So that's not the downside about being a comic, but that is kind of like when a format like Twitter does make your mind go, okay, this is what I could do, and you wouldn't do it.
Right.
Because it's not even that entertaining. It's like someone saying, this is the point I'm trying to make. That's over on Twitter. You can never, no one's ever going to do that for real. That people did maybe for a few months where you are crazy because everybody knows that looks hacky now.
Right. Yeah, but that's
a secondary thing.
Yeah, that's kind of besides the point for me, which is the fact that there's all these joke formats for tragedy, or whatever is sort of my point.
Right. I think it's more like my desire when a joke works, and it can relieve the tension, it is a great thing.
Sure.
It's a valve. And so I think
but there are jokes that both work and raise the tension.
Right, but
that's what everyone is looking to do, kind of.
See, I don't feel that way about myself, though. I know you're saying I don't do that, but I don't tend to say. I know when I've done a joke, and it's also been like I have a joke. It says, "These police stickers. The police have these bumper stickers. It says, there's no excuse for domestic violence." And my question is, well, what if your wife's a little mouthy? Right. Okay, I have had that rejected from every show I've ever. Right. Because it is funny,
right?
But it
100% depends on the audience hearing it the right way,
right? But I don't tend to come up with jokes where I go, I don't think I am like a Bill Maher who knows in a very cunning way that he's happy that he said something terrible.
I know I'm going to offend you, and then when you get offended, I'm going to scold you.
Right, yeah.
So Margaret is really sensitive to when people go, ooh,
Right, exactly.
And in fact, Bill Hicks used to be that way. I saw him yell at an audience once going, when they were going, ooh, it's like, no, there's 2 reactions that are appropriate. Laughter and silence.
Yeah. It's funny. Yeah. I just think that the difference between, I don't know. Maybe I overemphasize people I like. Most people I like their comedy. It's like, to me, Jeselnik is he enjoys coming up with something dark. Like it's part of his personality.
I do too. I love being dark. You've seen my act. It's pretty dark in a lot of ways.
Right, but
it's a gentle form of dark, but there's a big body count and a lot of my jokes have people dying in them. And
right. But they're not, you don't actively say you are dark. You don't actively say I'm going to say something dark to make people laugh. And I think that's what.
No, I say I'm willing to say something dark to make people laugh, and I like the subversion of that.
Well, because you come by it naturally. What I'm saying is that a lot of people, like I'll say, like when I said that thing about in Florida, where we had that fight about it, where I said I was rooting for the Storm.
Right.
It's like I got some tweets from guys who are like comics, like yeah. I've been trying to do this JFK. They gave me an example of their edgy jokes, and they're always. I don't think that way. I really don't.
No, and I get that, and I didn't think that was your motivation. My incredulity with you about
incredulity,
yes, was about that.
I like that.
Was that you didn't expect that you were shocked that there was any blowback?
No, I thought about it more. Here's what I would say: there's an immature part of it. The immature part of it is expecting anything in this format to be loving or normal, right? I think I actually got my feelings hurt by the sense that I would never have responded to my tweet by someone going, "You're a real piece of shit."
All right.
That's not what I was looking for as a response by a weather guy in Florida. So I did, because I feel like that wasn't my motivation going in.
Right.
So there's two things going on. Me being able to understand my own motivation and be okay with it, and me to recognize that you can't, but finding it out in the public format doesn't necessarily work. Depending on what it is, I never come up 100% either way, because obviously I haven't figured out the trick of Twitter yet.
All right.
But that is the truth. I didn't expect that someone would go right past the joke at all, not relate at all to the fact that I'm talking about Rush Limbaugh, or just that it comes from me not liking these people.
Right.
Yeah,
and but it's
but
again,
then
but it's
once
like
I want
that.
to defend that, who cares?
It's like the mouthy joke. It's like you have to, that only works if your audience is 100% getting where you're coming from.
You may have to also accept that some people
right, and that was my point.
Yeah,
is that that you were shocked that people were.
I still am shocked. No, yeah. I'm telling you, I'm still shocked.
I'm still shocked that you're shocked.
Someone would say you're a piece of shit from that joke.
Really.
But you are not surprised.
I am not the least bit surprised. My first reaction when I saw you post that was, "Oh shit."
Well, I guess part of my mind has been thinking about this, but more also just as a quote interesting thing.
Yeah.
Like where you look back over something and you go, "What was I thinking?" And then I started to think what the elements are of why I make the decision to say a joke in a certain context, and even though I may get blowback from it, I still have these things like it's not the tragedy right now. You're kind of trying to thread that needle, baby.
Sure,
thread that needle of getting people to, in a way, hope that Rush Limbaugh gets swallowed up by a hurricane.
Right.
That's part of yourself.
Right. But you didn't mention Rush Limbaugh on the joke. There's no reason why, just because you go there with Florida, that other people will.
Well, it's only for the people I hate in Florida. It's all for the hanging chads.
Yeah, but that's a large swath of the
I don't like
dangling
those people.
stage.
I really do hate a lot of those people.
Right.
Right?
I made that point too, is that the joke is Florida fucking sucks.
That's
true. The joke. And
that's
you
true.
Softened it,
Well, that's why a lot of people said, I'm in Florida, and I laughed at it.
Right. And I'm sure there were plenty of people who laughed at it.
So anyway.
I laughed at the shit you were about to get, but that's a different kind of laugh.
Right. But also, your everything in life that I'm learning from this podcast, and it's really great because I have been getting feedback from people that it helps them like forget their problems, and
we get really nice email from
it's
people.
Unbelievable.
And please keep sending it because it does make us feel like it's worth doing at thoughtspiralshow@gmail.com.
Yeah, because the thing is like I'm fascinated by the fact that I'm going through this new thing in my life where I'm feeling better, and I feel there's light at the end of the tunnel, and I feel more spiritual about things, and I like when I can communicate that, but it's very hard. You can't focus on, I find the more I focus on any specific thing, I can't say, this week I'm going to come in with some really good tips for.
No, I think as soon as we start doing things too deliberately, we've fucked ourselves.
But we won't do it though.
We can't.
I don't think we can.
We are unable to, yes.
But I know, again, without ruining the magic of it, but the truth is that the podcast that I love to listen to gets me out of my mind.
Right.
So when anybody's getting that from our examining of the minutia of whatever we're talking about, that's very cool. I was listening to the Best Show tonight, and there was a woman named Rebecca Sugar. You know her?
No.
Steven Universe is the name of her show on Cartoon Network or something.
Okay.
And so she was being interviewed by Tom, and she was talking about the process of like how those go forward. And I never had heard this thing where there's like when you're starting the panels, there's like a description that they write out of the action too. That's beyond just the words people are saying.
Right.
I love that stuff. I love inside baseball.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm not good at? I'm not good at conveying something that was interesting that happened to me. When I try to convey it, I make it sound dull.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much.
But anyway, all I'm saying is I don't want to be Mr. Cynical.
Right.
I also don't want to be Mr. Rogers.
Okay.
What I want to do is get myself out of these long thought things. Can't you just stop me and say this? You're going down a path that is neither interesting,
right,
nor unique,
right,
nor helpful. Can't you say that more instead of yes Andying me?
I don't think no, because you'll just get mad.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's nothing. If I said
it's
to you,
so much easier to take it out after you've left.
If I said to you, Josh, you gotta be bad cop from now on.
Yeah.
And then within 2 weeks I go, what's the deal with the bad cop?
Jesus Christ. Andy's lives matter.
Andy's life what?
Because I was bad cop.
Right.
Start the Andy Lives Matter.
Andy's life. Why don't we have that?
Andy's life matters.
Andy's life matters.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't that be a good national thing?
I think start it out. Start on Twitter. See how that goes.
Andy's life matters.
Especially next time there's a shooting. Wait for then.
You see, you're thinking that I go, okay, that I'm adding up the horrible things. Okay, Black Lives Matters in this. And I can, that's what Marr does.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't really know what he does. I think I know what motivates people, but I can't figure out Marr or Trump.
Well, they're both motivated by the same thing. They got to make a show each time.
So do we.
Yeah.
But we don't sell ourselves out.
I don't think so, except a rhombus space.
Still a solid bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Rock solid.
Please write to us at
thoughtspiralshow at gmail.com or on Twitter at
I'm going to answer emails this week.
Cool. I'm a little behind, but they all get read no matter what.
Yeah.
We all read them and we really appreciate it. And,
and money. No.
And no, don't send money in your emails.
I don't know. I keep doing the same joke.
Anyway.
So when does it matter? Am I ever going to learn?
And please continue to rate and review us on iTunes because that helps us out on iTunes.
Right.
And we also read those and appreciate it. And
look forward to our new...
I'm going to be at Acme Comedy Club in Minneapolis the 17th through the 21st
of what month?
Of this month, October.
Are you kidding me?
Not at all. I'm going to be headlining there, and I'm bringing our friend Joel Madison to MC for me. I'm taking him out of semi-retirement, and
that's going to be so cool.
It's going to be very fun.
Oh my God!
He's very excited.
You have to record every show and have me critique it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So why don't I say that in Thanksgiving weekend, it's not too early to make plans to see Andy Kindler at Union Hall the Saturday.
Nice.
Or the Friday after. I forget. I think
That's
it's
your
Saturday.
Yearly show, right?
What?
You do yearly there.
Yearly there, except
awesome.
that it caught fire once. Unlike my career.
Yeah.
They had to close it for a few months.
Oh, okay. Well, you were being literal about it catching fire. Not tickets.
Yes, I was.
So please, come and see me at Acme in Minneapolis. That would be fun.
Also, we're taking suggestions for hilarious endings.
Yes.
So if you want to email us and just write them out. Josh says, "Oh, my stomach doesn't feel well." Andy goes, "Maybe we should wrap it up." And then Josh says, "Oh, but it's not funny enough." And then Andy says, "Who cares?" That's what I want. A lot of scripts like that.
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
Okay,
in
neither
fact,
do
I'd appreciate it if you didn't send those in.
I like when you see. That's the bad cop I've been wanting from you.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Okay.
What I was expecting from this show
Yeah.
was like Dennis. You'd be like Dennis Miller was what he brought to Monday Night Football.
He threw that ball like Prometheus.
Like Prometheus and Odysseus was going on the Odyssey.
He needs to take a look at that game plan like Van Lowenhoek looking through a microscope.
Hey, babe, I haven't seen a game this slow since my electronic football game.
I just called Schrodinger. The cat's dead.
That's funnier than anything he's been saying recently. Schrodinger
called.
Schrodinger called. The cat, no good news on the cat, Choo-choo.
Choo-choo. That's what he's reduced to. He owes American an apology. That's all I got, Josh.
Is that it?
I really feel like that. Is this a prank?
This show?
Yeah, no, the ending of the show.
It's always a prank.
I know, but why is it that it's like a Rorschach test? When they say it's like kabuki theater,
Right.
what if it is kabuki theater?
Well, that's why I'm wearing the makeup. I'm glad you finally got it.
What does Rorschach say when he can't see anything in a picture? That must have been a bad day for Rorschach.
Yeah.
Is Rorschach the name of what happens, or the guy who came up with the...
Rorschach is the inventor of the test.
Right. And do you think... Here's my theory.
He spilled... Okay, go ahead. Then I'll tell you my joke.
He was an
came
abstract painter
Uh-huh.
who couldn't get a start, and so he started to sell his abstract things as, oh, what are you seeing here?
This show has gone to the...
Dogs.
No, I was going to do something better. I ruined it.
Oh, let them actually do it? Yes. All right, the dogs took us out.
Yeah, no, but Rorschach...
Yeah.
I think what happened is he spilled some ink.
Right.
And he looked at it and he saw his future.
When did you write that joke?
Just now.
Okay, goodbye. I'd like to thank the dogs.
It's chaos! Oh my God!
No!